episode is brought to you by GameFound. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. What is happening?
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Delisio.
Alrighty, folks. Well, welcome to Crowdsurfing, a weekly show where we talk about Kickstarter. And for the last month, we've been kind of stuck in the Neverlands of
Dice. It's been nothing but dice, Tom.
That's true. That's kind of true.
Some playing cards.
If it helps at all,
Card, yes.
I put no dice in today's thing, didn't I?
That's right.
Don't know that you did. I don't think you did put any dice this time, Dom.
Okay, but I did put some playing cards in.
You did.
You did? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you and your bad habits.
All right. Well, let's get started, folks. We got a lot of projects to go over, so we're going to jump right in. So here we go. Vault Wars, Relic Roadshow. Now, this is a redone version of a game that came out 5 or 6 years ago.
So it's ancient.
Is it a redone version or is it an expansion?
Yes, it's both.
Okay.
They're redoing the game, I think, or at least it looks good. Hey, they quoted me.
They sure did.
It's a great quote.
I really enjoyed this game.
Uh-huh.
I got to really think about my quotes. Like, every time I do a game,
Yeah.
I got to sit there and go, all right. Anyhow, so vaults in this game, you are trying to unlock vaults, and you're kind of bidding on them. It's an auction game, and I usually tend not to like auction games, but I like them, especially if they have animated cards, which it doesn't. But that looks cool.
Uh-huh.
I remember liking the original, and I'll tell you, Tom. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced they're reworking the core game. You can just buy the core game if you want, which is fine, I guess. I liked it. I remember enjoying it. I was surprised because I wasn't expecting much. I think that's it. I will say I think the expansion looks interesting. I like what they're adding with it. You know, more interest, more sort of fantasy flavor. These evil cards that you can choose to pursue.
Yeah.
This is a game that should not be written off. I'm just saying. This is a fun game.
Yeah, I remember enjoying it as well when I played it. It's not a new game. I mean, this is a pretty long gap between the original game and the first expansion. And so I was a little bit surprised. I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, I remember that game. So
sure, they've been doing other games since. We played Holy recently. Cosmic Colonies is a criminally underrated game.
It's a very good game, yeah.
They did Bad Maps.
Sagrada,
of course, Sagrada is their game that they're living off of these days.
Right.
But yeah, that's cool. I'm really glad for this one. I'm kind of surprised it's not getting more of a buzz. But maybe once the reviews come out, people play it. But I'm telling you, folks, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
All right. Now, this one's doing really well. Oink has discovered Kickstarter. And they are, instead of picking a new game here, they are picking 3. And you are, I think, I'm a little confused on this. It says they're hoping to release 3 at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But they need the crowdfunding to do this.
I guess because it's, they're trying to, I want to say that oftentimes they release them in groups of 3. Like every year at Gen Con, they would have like 2 or 3 new games, if I remember right. And so maybe they're trying to do that here because maybe it's because conventions haven't been happening. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, though. If they have 2 or 3 new games every year, they have never had more than one good one, I think.
They're very hit or miss, I think, in my opinion. I think I like them maybe more than many people in the office. I'm not sure. This Moon Adventure is kind of a redo. It's a cooperative version of Deep Sea Adventure.
But did you see this here? They said Deep Sea sold 200,000. That's pretty impressive.
It's in Target, Tom. I mean, it's not surprising to me at all.
They did hit Target.
That's their best-selling game, I think.
It absolutely
even more than
almost
Artist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fake Artist?
I think even more. Yeah, I think even more than Artist. And Insider has sold well too, from what I can tell. I've played the only one that's truly completely new to me is is it Dokojong with the dog type. That looks like a very simple deduction game, but looks cute. In a Grove.
Like the bomb game.
It does. Time Bomb. Yeah. In a Grove, I thought was a fine game. It looks like they've kind of redone it, added a player, made it 5 players available instead of just 4. Really short game, like 10 minutes maybe. Another kind of deduction style game. So I don't know.
I am still mind-boggled, Mike, at the absolute love and adoration people have for Oink games. They have some really good ones, like 2 or 3. They have some decent ones, and they got some clunkers, and yet a new Oink game comes out, and people lose their minds.
It's the aesthetic, Tom. It's the small box, cute aesthetic. It has pretty much all their games have a shared look. You know what I mean? Even if they're different art, you can tell an Oink game, I mean, certainly from the box, but even from the components, they have a similar look to them. And I think that if that look appeals to you, you're going to be into it.
I also think, though, that there is kind of a chic sort of quality that comes along with Oink games, I don't want to say hipstery, but it tiptoes towards that.
Right.
And I like some of them, but I think across the board, the average game of the ones I've played anyway from Oink Games would be an average or slightly below average game for me. I played in a Grove. I've had it. I thought it was a neat, clever exercise. I eventually got rid of it. Deep Sea Adventure is
tomato.
That one's awful.
That one's awful. Yeah.
I mean, just
yeah.
Again, I think the average game from them is, cute experiment. I wish somebody would make a full game out of this.
Yeah. My biggest issue here is the shipping. I think if you're shipping to the U.S., all told for 3 games, I think you're getting close to $100.
Oh.
Because it's about
folks,
$62.
If you don't catch it, these are the size of a card box.
Tiny.
Almost, a little bit bigger.
They're tiny. So it looks like about $62 without shipping. And then I think if you scroll down on that main box there, you can kind of see the shipping for the U.S. is not insignificant. Keep going.
Wow, you're right. It's right here, $2,500.
Yeah.
That's almost half the price. That's like $25-$30.
So yeah, it's a significant amount of money to get these shipped here to the United States. That's why pretty much every time I bought an Oink game, it was at Gen Con because you can just buy them there, So.
Right.
Why is this guy's face?
I thought that was odd too. I don't know if he's trying to do like a.
Is he running from the law?
Hey.
All righty. Well, anyway, that's the Oink games. Let's keep moving. All right, Keep Up the Fire, Deluxe Edition. This is based on the Boxer Rebellion in 1900. It's a solitaire game in 45 minutes, and as we always talk about, for a war game, doing quite well.
Z, you know how last week you said you were talking about there was a particular project, it was a war game project, and you were saying how impressed you were with the aesthetic of it and how nice it looked?
Yeah.
This looks like a game I want to play.
Right.
This game, to me, the look of it makes me want to play it, no matter whether it's a war game or not. I mean, and the company is called Old School War Games. Well, you know what? To me, to my eyes, this doesn't look like an old school war game. This looks more in the style of a trying to get people from other areas of the gaming hobby, Euro gamers maybe even Ameritrash gamers. This is a good way to do it, I think, because this looks interesting to me.
Well, it was originally done by Victory Point Games.
Right.
And, of course, their stuff does, back, especially when it came out, that does look like old school stuff.
Yeah.
This is pretty good for Worthington Publishing. I think they're slowly getting better with their stuff. But you're right. I like the font choices, the iconography. And it still looks like a war game, though, right?
I think it's a
Worthington Publishing, or is this someone else?
It says Old School War Games is the Grognard wing of Worthington Publishing.
Yeah.
I think the main reason that it comes across that way, Mike, and now that board right there, that's a good looking board.
It is.
It's because it does not look generic.
Yep.
You see these war games or any kind of game that you're not very intimately familiar with, right? I mean, if you look at any train game and you don't know your 18XX games, they might look generic to you. It's like, wait, haven't I seen? Is it the same old thing? I know I'm not a war gamer, but this one does not look like the same old, same old. I like that. That captivates me.
Yep. I agree.
All right, Clinic. This is if I'm counting correctly, this is the second well, it says second and third expansion But
No. Don't look at that. What do you think it is? Which expansion do you think it is?
No, what I mean is this the second Kickstarter. That's an expansion for Clinic. Clinic, very popular game. If you've not played it before, I think if you're a fan of Vitel Lacerda games, this is right down that alley. Mm-hmm. It's about having your own little hospital, keeping patients in there, letting them get sicker, actually, because you get more points if you heal them when they're really sick.
What?
Yeah. And you spend an inordinate amount of time figuring out how to park everyone's cars.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And that's not an exaggeration. It's definitely part of the game.
It's weird. I look at the funding on this, how well it's doing, and the fact that you said that it's an extremely popular game, but I feel like I'm out of the loop on this one. I'm certainly familiar with the game. I've not played it, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I don't read a lot of people writing about it. There must be a very core group of impassioned fans of this game and maybe the designer. That's, obviously it wasn't that long ago that the other expansion came out because we talked about it on this show. So, yeah.
And somehow Mike hasn't mentioned Ian O'Toole yet, which is very strange to me. But
it speaks for itself. I mean, the graphic design is impeccable in my mind, but
there it
is. It looks really good.
Stretcher bearer meeples.
That's right.
And down here, toilet tiles and air conditioning. You are going to be covering every part. And then there's ghosts, which makes sense because it's like a very serious hospital game, and then they had a little module in the original game for zombies.
Sure. So, why not, right?
Yep. So, it looks. I mean, I'll tell you what. The first one, the production values were top notch. So, I thought it's a little out of my comfort zone to play the game, but I see why a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
All right, Tabletop Gaming Vault and Dice Towers. So this is the perfect gift for the tabletop gamer who has everything.
Well, that's you, Tom. Is this a perfect gift for you? You've got everything.
Well, I don't have everything, but also no. The Tabletop Gaming Vault slightly intrigues me, but I'm not sold on it's too translucent. Okay, so this Cthulhu Tower, this looks okay.
Right.
It's not bad.
It looks okay. I feel like all of this looks cheap to me. I don't know if it's just because it's that straight acrylic, but it feels cheap. Like I'm afraid it would be fragile. I'm afraid it would not hold up to repeated use. But that's just off of might be very well made.
Sure, but it's not expensive either. So that
$20.
That's true. Traveler, that's a good price for a dice tower.
That's a very fair price. Yes. The big thing though is that gelatinous cube. I'm not so sure of the functionality on that. What do you guys think?
It seemed like much ado about nothing. I mean, I tried watching the video and I couldn't finish it. He just wouldn't get to the point. He was doing he started off doing an Academy Awards, like I want to thank everyone speech.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally got around to it, but it was and here is the gelatinous cube, but we'll talk about that later. First, let me show you this. This is a tray. You can roll dice in it. You want it to be quieter? Here's a badly cut piece of foam that you can roll dice on. He never got around to it. But I don't get it. It's a plastic. It's a thing that holds the rest of the things, cube. Right? I mean, we figured out boxes a long time ago. This is not innovative.
Well, you're being more cynical than I would be.
I don't like it.
But I think of the whole thing, I think the best thing is that Cthulhu Dice Tower. Actually, I don't even mind the Snow Dice Tower because you're looking at it compared to everything else. But if I brought this out to the table and play with it, I think it would look pretty neat. Taking everything else out, it looks almost like generic compared to the other ones here.
Yeah.
But if you just had that out, I think it would look nice. And I think it's a good price. The cube, I love the idea of a gelatinous cube, but that seems like more work than me just storing the stuff in the box.
I do the one thing I agree with that, Tom. It seems like the aesthetics of it have to be really, really important to you. You have to be deeply passionate about gelatinous cubes, I guess. But
I am.
Deeply passionate about gelatinous cubes.
Oh,
wow.
gelatinous cube. Oh, gelatinous cube.
Put that on your dating profile, and you'll do really, really well. I guarantee
you're gonna get some interesting folks. But I will say, of all those 4 products, I do like the snot tower, gelatinous tower, whatever that is. I'd like that one the best. I'd like the color.
The snot tower.
I just like the way that looks. That one looks cool. The other 2 I've kind of seen before.
Yeah.
That one looks...
I think the snot tower would look better in person than it does in that picture, actually.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's neat. I would that one I'm good with. So again, I'm not knocking this. I'm being facetious, but there was just a whole lot of to do, and I wasn't quite getting why they were making a big deal about a box. We've seen, boxes within boxes before. It's kind of been done.
Mm-hmm. Here's our first playing card thing. This one's doing pretty well. 31,000 for shooters cards. This is USPCC premium playing cards with some, in my opinion, some pretty cool looking backs.
Yeah, I like those backs. I do.
Mm-hmm. How much is a set of these anyway?
Like 11, 12, 13 bucks.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
The tuck box is a little boring to me. Where's the cards?
Let me see. What is it? Yeah, okay. These are collectors, so they're going to be a little
more. It's about cameras. I get that, but the cards are like the cards are fairly normal, right?
I was going to say, to me, they're very, very lightly custom. I mean, they've got the Joker is probably the most, thematic, quote unquote, of the cards. The aces, they looks like they kind of put those little like viewfinder things on them, which is a nice little touch. I don't know. Right. It seems like it's a pretty small market, though. I mean, unless you just were really into custom cards, I know you are, Z.
And I don't want them.
What was that, Mike? What did you say?
I was saying, unless you're just a collector of custom cards, and I know you are, Z. But if I think this is mostly going for people that specifically have both of those hobbies in their Venn diagram. So.
Yes, or I could see this being a unique gift for a photographer friend who you don't know, you can't get them a lens, plus you don't know what they need. Mm-hmm. It's too much money, and you don't, for all you know, they've got everything they need. This seems like a lovely stocking stuffer kind of thoughtful gift. Mm-hmm. If you have a friend who has a passing interest in cards, but they're a photographer. This is a lovely gift for that person. I think that's a wonderful use for this. Do I want to collect these personally? Not at all. Like you said, I like the backs, the card backs, but the deck has a very little modification. I like fully custom decks if I can help it. These have standard court cards, standard pips. They change the aces, and they did a color swap on it. That's it. Yeah. That's not a lot. So this is mostly, traditional look.
If it's a good gift for a photographer, would you say it would be a good gift if somebody was like intensely passionate about gelatinous cubes? Would that be maybe a good thing to get them on?
If there's a deck of cards about passionate gelatinous cube lovers, then put that on here, Tom, next time.
All right. Operation Market Garden Pocket Card Game. I feel like there's an extra word in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a mouthful.
Urquette Guard N.
So this is a 2-player World War II in your pocket. I think this is already out, like another version of this, right?
I believe so.
I gotta say, we were just talking earlier about how that one set looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. I don't hate the art in this, but I don't know that I like the graphic design. I especially don't like the map.
Right.
The art is pretty solid.
I like this graphic design just fine. And I like the sepia color. Sepia toned everything is a cool look.
Okay, but what about these tiles? Can you read them?
Well, no, but also they're not in front of me.
Yeah, that's true.
There is a lot of text on them, and I think that they're doing that because they're trying to keep everything contained to a small amount of cards. I don't hate the idea of it, of a kind of like it's similar to maybe Blitzkrieg, but even on a smaller. Now, if it's even a quarter as good as Blitzkrieg is, then that would be fantastic. I just don't know that I have a good feeling for how this game plays out.
My question here is, will L like this game?
Yeah, I don't know. L is an enigma. You don't know what L's thinking at any given point.
That's a weird. It's
a weird typo.
That is a weird typo.
You know, if this was like an escape room Kickstarter, you'd be looking into clues as to what that means. You'd be like, wait, four L's together, so it's like dot dash. What letter is that in Morse? You know, you'd be trying to figure all this stuff out. But no, it's just a typo.
Yep.
We think. All right.
Maybe.
King of Potato. A
King of Potato
game.
King of Potato.
We funded it in 4 hours. And then it stopped, apparently.
And then it stopped dead in its tracks.
Take back everything
Okay, if
bad
I asked you, though, Mike, if I showed you this picture, telling you nothing about it, I said, what is that? Would you say
Cuphead, the card game? No, I'd say it's Cuphead.
I would say it's a pumpkin.
I agree with Z. That is a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's definitely not a potato.
There's the potato.
Maybe that's the potato. I think that is a pumpkin. I think, yeah. But is this art style not really? Well, we there was another game, the Township Tussle, right? I wonder if we're going to start seeing more and more.
I think, yeah.
Townsfolk, yeah. I wonder if we're going to start seeing more and more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the art is probably the thing that is most impressive to me about the game. Otherwise, it looks like very much like a Take That-y type of a card game. And the price is good. I'll give it that.
I agree. And everything you said. Like, I don't know that I'm interested in the game, but I do like the art. But I don't like the color palette.
You guys are being way too nice to this. I don't know what's going on, but this game looks great.
But look at the old potato, La Papa.
La Papa.
I like the look, and I don't dislike the color scheme. They're getting the colors right and the artwork. That really does feel like it escaped from, like you said, Cuphead or an old, Disney cartoon or whatever. But this game is seemingly hot garbage.
Alrighty. Well, anyway.
Come on. This is how you it looks like a rip-off of Exploding Kittens with somehow worse gameplay.
Yeah, it's definitely going for that market for sure.
Tom knows this guy, so I'm going to move off.
No, I don't know the guy.
You seem very guarded. You're backing it, aren't you? All right, I'll stop.
Yeah, he's 54 grand. 54 grand on this game.
Yeah, this is a mint tin card and dice solo game. This is another solo game, straight up solo, with dice and really weird artwork. It's like Matrix vibes type stuff here. I don't know that I was seeing Matrix, but it is definitely a very stylized aesthetic, which I'm overusing that word, but that's okay. I can't make heads or tails of this. I hadn't heard anything about it. It looked very DIY to me, but it's doing really, really well. And obviously I'm a big solo gamer, and I do like dice placement. Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike the look of it, but it's very odd. Like, what's with this populist grinder here? Look at all these people falling into the gears.
Yeah, I dig it.
It's got like it reminds me of a zine aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like those indie zines. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, what else has this guy done? I need to see this. Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. All right, I'm in just on that right now. I'm in.
Z, what's your opinion of hot garbage? You're like, you don't have anything to say with that one. You're like, well,
I've been undermined.
Yeah, but like none of his games. Maybe he's built a following, because if you look at the other games, 750, 557, 267, you got a lot of backers here, and they all have the same kind of, except for hot garbage. The Blessed Dark and the Mind Burners look kind of like they're that same kind of weird aesthetic.
Yeah,
I like that artwork a lot. I have to say, I do enjoy that aesthetic. It makes it's like, that retro punk 80s vibe.
Right.
I like that look a lot. And I think that yellow and the two shades of blue there look good. The one thing I know about this game I like is the artwork. I don't know how the game works. I'm not sure I understand what's happening, but I'm intrigued. I would mess with this. You know what it made me think of the most was actually Under Falling Skies.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of looks like.
Well, when this is published, and this is all you'll let us know.
I'm going to throw you in that machininator for eating people. What was it called?
Maybe they'll send a copy of Hot Garbage, too.
Now, this one kind of blows my mind, Centurion, because of the fact that it's just barely funded. I really like this game. I thought it was incredibly fun. Me and Mike played it, right?
We did play it. I will tell you, though, Tom, if I knew nothing about the game, this page wouldn't inspire me. I feel like it's. I feel like it's. Yeah, I feel like I wish there was a little bit more oomph. I know that I'm being very vague there, but it kind of looks like it's going through the motions a little bit with just the design of the page. The game was very enjoyable. It's not my typical type of game, but I can understand the appeal. I definitely can understand the appeal. This is one of those 2-player head-to-head games that have a lot that you can, do on your turns. There's a lot of, meaningful decisions to make in the game. So I understand the appeal. I kind of wish the page was a little bit flashier.
Yeah. Catalyst does not always do good at flashy pages or flashy products for that matter.
Yeah.
But this is a sequel to the Duke and the Jarl, and what it does is it allows your pieces to work in tandem with each other.
Right.
And that really adds to the thinkiness of the game, I thought. I enjoyed it a lot. My first play of it, which was off camera, I was kind of like, I don't know. But each time I played it, I liked it more. And oh my goodness, I want this gladiator piece.
I do like the look of these tiles like that. That's pretty slick, but.
Do they look jaggedy like that?
Well, this is a upgrade thing. We didn't play with these. This is made to be like broken pottery. I'm assuming they'll either all be the same shape or you won't be able to tell. I'm hoping.
Yeah. No, I don't care about that. I'm not going to be worried about feeling which tile I'm pulling out of the bag, but I'm not sure if I'm loving that aesthetic.
You don't like how it looks, you're saying?
I kind of like that.
I like really how it looks. I don't like the idea of translating that into, like, in my head, I look at that picture and I go, ooh, broken marble or pottery, yeah. And then I think, but then I'm going to be playing with these things, and I don't like that idea.
Got it. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope this one, it's funded, so that's good, but I would like to see it do better.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break here, folks, with some contributor segments. We'll be back. We got a bunch more things to talk about.
All right.
Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Crowdsurfing Lanyap. That's right, I'm bringing you projects that won't break your budget, but throw in a little something extra. Here's what I'm checking out this week. Mouse, Cheese, Cat, Cucumber may be the strangest name for a game that I've ever played, but it is oh so apropos. I'm not a big fan of social deduction games that require a lot of yelling and screaming for no reason. Instead, I love it when designers integrate hidden roles into their games that make sense. Games like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, or A Fake Artist Goes to New York, or A Menace Among Us. They all give us reasons to suspect our neighbors. If you like games like that, and you want something extra, designer Seppi Yoon from Fight in a Box Games just might have the game for you. In Mouse, Cheese, Cat, Cucumber, players take on one of 4 different and hidden roles. A mouse, who wants to eat the block of cheese. The cat, who just wants to eat the mouse. The royal cheese, who just wants to be left alone with no one eating anyone. And the cucumber, who apparently loves chaos, but really wants to see the cat catch the mouse in the act of gobbling down some cheese. Players are going to take turns building out a 5x5 grid of tiles. Each of those tiles contains the elements of a maze. Anytime a player places a tile with gears on them, they get to spin adjacent tiles around. That can make hallways open up, can scoot the cat right up to the mouse, or get the mouse right up to the cheese. The secret to Seppi's Rue is that players don't know what the other player's roles are, unless one of the players wants to use a special power. In that case, the role is revealed. It's hard to believe that a 15 to 30 minute puzzle game could have this much intrigue, but man, does it ever. We were lucky enough to play with both the Kickstarter Playing Cards Edition and also the upgraded, tricked out acrylic tiles edition. And hey, there's even a bit of Lanyapa here. The game is already funded and it only costs $13. But if you bump up your pledge a bit, you can get not one, but 2 cool expansions, special guests, and Portrait of a Mastermind. All right, so that's Mouse, Cheese, Cat, Cucumber from designer Seppi Yoon and Fight in the Box Games. It's out on Kickstarter right now. It's a perfect way to start or end any game night. I can't wait for Gumbo game nights to come back because we just love those puzzly little fillers. And until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower Preview Recap. I'm Mark, and today we really only have one game to look at. It's a tiny game, Tiny Epic Dungeons. The town is under siege by an evil boss who lurks deep in the mountains. The players form a party of adventurers who must delve deep into the dungeon in order to clear out the halls of goblins and minions, contend with magical traps, and defeat the evil boss. But time is of the essence. The players must move quickly through the dark corridors and complete their mission before they are lost in the dungeon forever. So this is a dungeon crawl. Yes, there is a ton of game in a tiny box. And it's also a dice chucker, something I really enjoy. And you're using your dice against skill checks for different abilities that you have, like strength and agility and intellect. You know, Dungeons has lots of neat aspects going for it. This is a tiny epic game with miniatures. I can't wait to see these produced and use them as you dive into the dungeon. Now, there's some interesting ways to lose this game too. If you get overrun by goblins, you lose. If you pull out the dungeon tiles and you put together in a way that it dead ends and you can't discover the boss's lair, you're gonna lose. So it is a challenging game for sure, especially when you go up against these bosses. They're big and they're terrible. So, and you have to lure them out of their lair in order to get them marked with a ritual. All kinds of interesting aspects of how you navigate and explore. And then of course, all the different gear and spells you can use. Gear, you create sets. So this is definitely a tiny epic game that's right up my alley. All right, folks, if this tiny epic game looks like it might be of interest to you, please go check out my full preview. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
All right, everybody, let's jump into our other playing card project, the Constellation playing card by Decadea. Or is it Decadea?
I assume sure. Decadea, yeah.
I think they have Decadea.
All right, what's with this? You have to explain this to me, Z. When I'm like looking at this, they like show you see the boxes here, then they show you the boxes, then once again you see the box. Also the box.
They're very proud of this box.
Do people buy these based on the box? I care more about the cards.
It's a big thing with playing card projects. This is pretty standard behavior.
I guess.
Who's going to see the inside of a tuck box? You're not taking is it made to come fully open or?
No, it's not. But okay, people do customize the insides of the decks.
Okay.
Again,
really like these aces.
Yeah, they're slick.
I really like them.
I even like the font on the numbers of the cards, but I don't know if they're usable, but I like the look of them.
Yeah, this is a great. This is how you do it when you go full in on a custom deck. These guys are going whole hog. It's got custom. The font is a custom font to them, or at least different from the standard, I should say.
Right.
And then all the court cards have their own thing going on. The arrangement of pibs is custom, unlike that 10. That's not standard arrangement. They've got the metallic inks on the outside. They printed the inside of the box. They've got UV lighting on these, which is pretty rare. Yeah, they're doing the whole shebang. This is a good looking deck.
Would you back it?
I could see myself backing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
you get the collector's box.
No, I don't go for that stuff.
I will say I think I don't back many of these, but this I really like the night sky constellation stuff. Yeah. This one is really appealing to me, especially the purple version.
Yeah. There's a
nice looking set.
There's a lot of gold decks out there with gold foiling, but that purple is striking.
All right, back to games. well, not games, about games. We have the Game Boy Geek Season 9 if you want to support Game Boy Geek's video channel. And I want to look at the promos. It talks about promos. I am really curious. I haven't talked to Dan. I'm curious about these resource pack from Quick Simple Fun. And I don't know why my page just refreshed there. So it says they're spill-proof resource sets. So I'm guessing it says they're on plastic cardstock. But it doesn't really show. It shows that one picture of them in the bag.
Wait. These are printed on plastic cardstock?
Yeah, which is not a bad idea, but my concern about it is the actual art itself.
Yeah, but how do you pick these up off the table? Plastic cardstock is thin. It's thinner than like
it might be thicker. It's hard, like I said, it's really hard to tell. So we'll have to see. I mean, this sort of thing is always interesting to me. Yeah. My only concern about these is the in each of these sets, like for example, look at the barrel wine, beer, and grape. Yeah. That's 4 different styles of artwork almost.
Yeah, that bottle looks like an actual bottle captured as an image.
Right.
And then obviously the barrel's illustration, that beer looks like clip art.
Or a comic. Yeah, right. So anyway, that's what interested me the most. There's a lot of other things in here. There's a lot of saxophone
tons of
stuff.
there's a bunch of goodies in here, so go check that out. I'm still baffled by the whole spill-proof component thing. Who's worried about spilling? Like, do you have a spill-proof board also? I'm so confused.
Alrighty.
Lots of goodies in there, though. Go check out Dan's Kickstarter.
You got it.
All right, this one's doing really well. Forest of Radgost, a cooperative storytelling board game based on Slavic mythology. And this is a first-time Kickstarter from an engineer, but it says he's one of the designers of Forest of Radgost, making me think that must be a video game.
Oh, you know what? I did not put that together.
I didn't either.
Well, I'll know in just a second.
I doubt it.
Weird. It's only bringing up the board game.
There you go. Stuff. He's one of the designers of this game.
That's why it may just be literally that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not always good.
1 to 7 players has a huge. No, it has a huge player count. So 1 to 7. Obviously, the minis are going to be drawing a lot of people in. I think it's maybe a slightly different form of mythology than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it's less dark than normal. I want to get it just for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And also, it says players who show up late can join the game at any moment. Not many games let you do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. I don't feel like I have a good sense for really how the game plays out. The board almost gives me a little bit of a roll and move vibe to it, but that doesn't necessarily mean bad, especially if they're really making storytelling the main mechanic of the game. So I don't know. I like the look of the minis. They're pretty distinct.
Yeah, they're very thin for one, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm telling you, there's a lot of generic fantasy. This doesn't feel generic, but it also doesn't feel like it's these are scary looking monsters for sure.
Right.
But it doesn't feel like they're over the top grotesque like a lot of stuff we see nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not sure if I'm being that cautious. I think this looks really good. Okay. Now, yes, I don't know if storytelling means actual storytelling or story-driven. I think we are reading. I think we're reading from a book a la Ryan Lockett, okay?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting here. And if that's the case, then this looks really fun and engaging. I'm pretty psyched about this one. I got to say, this looks great.
All right. And I like the backs of the cards, the color palette there. Yeah. Nice. All right. Then we jump to Shadow Tactics, the board game. Now, I don't know everything. I know there's been some buzz about this game online. I don't really pay attention to internet drama for the most part, but I know there's something going on with this. This is the second time they've run this project.
Okay.
It looks pretty neat to me. It looks a little bit like Samurai, actually, Reiner Knizia's old game.
I wonder if there's a video game.
Yeah, maybe that picture right there looked a little bit like a mess to me, but
this
just looked, this looks like it's not cohesive at all. It just looks like pieces strewn onto a board, but that may be my ignorance. I haven't read much about the game. I've just looked at the page. I haven't read the rules or anything, but I don't know. I do like the idea of kind of this hidden movement type of a thing. That's usually fun. So I don't know.
I like that these characters like fit into slots there next to the hexes. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they did Saltlands. I don't think I played Saltlands. That was UZ,
right?
They
did. I like Saltlands quite a bit,
actually. That's who these guys are. Okay.
That actually makes me a little more optimistic because I did like it. Was a little odd. It wasn't a perfect game by any means, but it did some things really, really well, and it was not like every other game I'd played. So interesting. I liked Saltlands.
Cool.
Oh, I see what the thing is. The first one is not delivered, and they're running this campaign so that they have enough money to produce this first one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a red flag for me.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Time Editors, a time travel themed board game. And I'll tell you what, folks, I feel really bad about this, but if I was going through looking at these as a casual person, I wouldn't even go down the page. I think, because I don't believe you can do a good time travel themed board game.
Ooh,
but let's look at it anyway.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far, Tom.
Ooh, they have a great
nice job. Anachrony is not really time travel based.
I guess, but I think it works as a time travel game, but that's okay. We can agree to disagree on that.
There are no actual time travel games. I will say that, Tom.
That's not what I said.
You make it sound like, you've played one once, and you have not, okay? You imagine that.
Time Stories is a time travel game.
It's not, okay? Next time you play it, time has actually passed.
Thanks, Z. I don't like the motif.
Pointing it out.
It's a bunch of pictures, a bunch of miniatures. This one is not making me want to get it. Forget the time travel part.
Right.
And that's, I don't know. This one just feels like I don't know. I'm not feeling it at all, guys. I'm
not feeling it at all either. And I don't know if it's because there's just not a whole lot of game for them to explain there, so they're just slamming us with artwork, or if this is such a weird game that they're having a hard time explaining it. Because I'm not getting a lot of what this game's about. They're like bombarding us with imagery, which is okay. The imagery, and in my opinion, the imagery is okay, but it's not great. It's not bad. But I have no idea what this game's about. It looks like here's an icon. Here's more iconography. Here's a sci-fi soldier. Here's a ship that we took from Battlestar Galactica. Here's another soldier. It's like, all right, but also, what is this? I would have moved on. Yeah.
I don't love the title of the game either.
They
also
produce software. That's the thing.
Ah, gotcha.
I was just saying, Mike, this is your job. Alrighty. Next, Sysifus Core, a cutthroat corporate board game. If ever there was a game that looked like a corporation made it and is forcing their employees to play it,
mm-hmm.
Is that what this looks like?
Yeah.
Like they gave it at the company picnic, and they're like, "You got to play this."
Right. Puzzle strategy racing game with elements of Mario Kart and Yu-Gi-Oh. I believe that's what it said. You went past it pretty quick, but I believe that's what it said.
Let's look again. Right. Where is it?
Go down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Race the board.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There, yeah.
A puzzle strategy, elements of Mario Kart and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's a weird quote. That doesn't sell me on the game at all.
And I just don't see how this game doesn't look anything like Mario Kart to me, but okay.
I gotta say, office politics is a theme that's really hard to sell because so many people who play board games have office jobs.
Sure.
This seems like the kind of theme I would not. I mean, I tried. The guy seems like he's having, a laugh with this a little bit. He's trying to make something that he finds funny, and that's endearing to me. This seems like a personal project that, that he cares about this. But talk about picking the one thing I am just not interested in. I tried to find a way in, a way out, and every time I read a new piece of text, he would start talking about spreadsheets. I mean, like, he was actually talking about spreadsheets, and I just, I can't. I checked out.
Yeah. I think he's trying to do
data
something.
Sheets.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I think he's trying to do something different with this project. And for that, honestly, I think he should be applauded for not trying to go the standard route. I just don't know if it's working for me. But I do at least like that it seems like he's trying to do something a little bit different, out of the norm.
Right.
All right, Mike, control yourself. It's time for Garfield game. Paladins of the West Kingdom, City of Crowns.
I'll tell you, Paladins. I'm excited for more Paladins, clearly, because I think it's a fantastic game that I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of. Although I feel like Paladins in and of itself is a very complete game.
Yes.
But I'm, as crazy as it sounds, I know this is a me thing, but I'm super excited about the big box, the collector's box, because I have the collector's box for Raiders. It's a great storage solution. It keeps everything.
I want it even if I didn't get anything else. Because Paladins is already almost impossible to fit in that box.
Right.
I know. Well, this will help with that, because I do think that you've got the collector's box for Raiders. It's a really good storage solution. And so I'm excited about that. I'm probably equally excited between the box and the expansion, because like I said, Paladins is a game that I probably have many more plays of just with the base box without having to worry about more, but I'm happy to see more too. And hop on that Hadrian's Wall if you have not, because that's fantastic. That's, I think, just now starting to get released, but you can also get it here, and that's a fantastic. It's my new favorite verb and right
box.
game.
Let me look here. So it's $38, and then now you got to pay. It's $52 for the expansion and the collector's box.
And the box.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Well, 3,000 people did it. It must be the thing that's the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest one? Oh, this is always interesting to me when they like this here. They have City of Crowns, the collector box, Paladins, Architects, the expansion for Architects, Viscounts, and this. And I'm thinking, who likes Garfield games so much that they'll buy all this because they don't have any of it? That's always kind of mind-boggled me. Like, I'm going to jump in.
Who's a fan and who showed up all the way here and somehow doesn't have this stuff? How did they become a fan? Right.
I get what you're saying. I absolutely do get that, but obviously 154 people did. I think that it's people that are coming from maybe that have been exposed to Raiders maybe, and like, man, I really liked this game, and they've read a lot about the West Kingdom series. It's a viable
fine. I mean, it happens. This happens on more than one Kickstarter, and I'm always a little like, so you want everything this company does? Don't you already own a couple of them? Maybe their friend does, and they're like, I no longer need you. Or the friendship broke up, and they're like, Mike, we're no longer friends, but I got to buy all the Garfield stuff myself.
That's right.
That could be. Or it's a bot. It could just be 154 bots.
Yeah, I thought that's that. Alrighty. Badlands Wolves. Guided by the law of tooth and claw, wolves now fight for the crown. This is another first-time one. I like this drawing right here, the bear fighting the wolf. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what? This reminds me of that particular style of, is it like shadow art? Is that what it's called? Where it's like paper cutouts that they're like, there's a light that shines it onto a background. You know what I'm talking about? There's a particular type of
it seems a little bit different than that, but you're right. It's close to that. No, there's some texture here, though, Mike. Otherwise, it would just be black.
Yeah, that's true.
This wolf is fighting a snake.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a very minimalistic game.
I kind of get the feeling with this one that I got with the King of Potato game, whatever that's called, which is they have a really clear vision for what their game should look like. And both of them look really good. I think this is a very striking looking game.
Yep.
I do. It's gorgeous artwork. This person is a fantastic illustrator. I'm just not sure this is a good or interesting or captivating game. I'm not sure. It might be amazing, but it looks like a pretty by the numbers take that game.
Right. Which is,
I don't know.
if that's
I like
the
his
case,
cards too.
I clicked on one document because I was captivated. I clicked on a document that showed me all the cards, and most of them are a variation of steal a card, steal 2 cards, give 1 back, steal a card from every player, force players to discard cards. Okay, like that's it. That's the deck of cards. Yeah. It's a pure take that game, basically. That's just not that interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still intrigued.
Get it.
All right.
Pick of the week
of the Deep, a 4 to 8 player hidden roll dice game, which isn't Cthulhu but looks like Cthulhu-ish, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
It's also not Bang the Dice game, but it sure as heck seems like Bang the Dice game.
Yes.
So,
yes.
This really has a feel of that, doesn't it?
It does.
Has different kinds of dice. Those Kraken dice stole these icons from other games, though. My word.
Well, those Kraken dice are definitely not standard D4s, Tom.
No, I get that. I'm not arguing that.
I know. They are standard D4s.
There's a lot of text here.
Yeah, I don't think Tom understood that you were
sarcastic.
Trying to make a joke there. Yeah.
He was too captivated with the. I don't know. This does nothing for me because to me, again, this seems like a rethemed Bang the Dice game.
This theme is so overdone. I don't care about rituals and cultists. How many cultist ritual games do we need?
And this is a social deduction game, which has kind of had its day, thankfully, because man, it was like every other project used to be a social deduction game.
Mm-hmm.
They've cooled on that, but hey, here's another one. Throw some beasties in there.
It does say that if you're eliminated here, you're not out of the game.
Yeah,
you got back as a wraith. So that was an expansion to Bang.
And that is important. I think that's a design flaw that they avoided there.
All right. Last game of the week, folks. Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising. This one's on GameFound, and it seems to be doing okay here with $500,000. Oh, my word. Now, I actually, just today, I was putting together the first Kingdom Rush because my daughter painted all the miniatures for it. Looks really good. The quality here is just on top of things. My only thing is if you have played Kingdom Rush on your whatever app or computer, and you play this, they're 2 very different kind of games. They're essentially the same theme, but this is a full cooperative puzzle game. And tower defense, yes, it's puzzle, but it's also throw these towers up and blow stuff away as fast as you can. This is more think very carefully how you're going to blow it away.
Yeah. I enjoyed the play that we had, Tom. I liked Kingdom Rush. The one thing I was wondering is, why didn't you get the box that carried everything? Because you've got all these different, but did you know that there's a box to carry all this stuff in, a single box?
Well, stop it.
You know what I will say? This looks nice. You guys have more experience with this than I do. One thing I will say, man, I'm loving the way these GameFound pages look.
Yeah,
they're. This on the side here is so
I looked
great.
at that, right. Like, I love that when you scroll past the point where you would back something, then they pin it to the side.
Yep.
Right? They pin it over to that side. And then the roadmap along the other side of the screen was great. I was like, okay, let me see the how to play. Clicked it all the way there. Love the way these pages are designed. I really do. This is clean.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I also like when you click on a pledge, it shows you what you're getting with that click.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't have to compare on the side of Kickstarter to the pledge. I can just say, that's what I'm getting, add the pledge. And then you can even do the add-ons here in the thing. I'm very impressed with this. And this is the second project now on GameFound, but we're going to see a lot more, I'm sure, in the future. And if you want to get the original Kingdom Rush stuff, but back to what Mike was saying earlier. Mike, I put both this Sir Gerald Lightseeker and this Moloch expansion, both of those fit in the base game box.
Okay.
I don't need to get no Emperor's chest. Stop trying to get me to get the Emperor's chest.
You gotta get the Emperor's chest.
I'm just saying, Tom, if you want to have the best version of the game, you got to have the Emperor's chest. That's all I'm saying.
You're not a real gamer unless you get it.
Well, look, Z went one step further, but I'm going to co-sign what Z just said.
All righty. Well, before we get to our picks of the week, let's jump to a couple non-Kickstarter prizes. And folks, if you find weird and unusual things, send them to me at tom@dicetower.com because I love to showcase them off. So we'll start with this very, very well-funded thing that I cannot imagine. It feels like it was made to be snuck onto an airplane.
Seems neat. I like it. I think it's neat.
I cannot tell you how.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Can I tell you how excited I was about this thing? First of all, as someone that does the unboxing channel, I'm thinking to myself, wow, this would be great for unboxings.
Right.
It's a neat little thing, right?
Did you back it?
No, I haven't, but I'm considering it because it's a pretty reasonable price too.
If it can open clamshell packages, I'm in. Look at that.
It can.
Yeah, and it looks well made. It looks sort of there's a certain machine quality to it, right? Like very, they're working within small margins here, and it seems like they're doing so well. And I like the way this looks. Yeah,
I do too.
I like the caps that can be changed.
Me too. Yeah,
I mean the titanium piece itself, with then that copper, I think it was,
you can
or
put
bronze.
it on your key ring is, I think, where I'm in.
Yeah.
Right. I can add it to my key ring. Huh?
You bring up a point, though, Tom. I know you were being silly about it, but I don't think you could take this into an airport. That is something you'd have to consider. You'd want to take it off there before you went to an airport, because I imagine it would not go through. That carabiner.
Well, I'm more worried that it would go through.
You think?
Well, how would they know? It looks like a round disc, even if you scanned it.
Yeah, I don't know. You may be right.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, why are we talking about this? We're making up to someone.
We're not planning to do this here, folks. I want to be
No. I'm just saying.
All right. It's
pretty neat.
Let's keep going.
Pretty neat.
All right, and then finally, the cave cat table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I kind of was like, oh, this is cute. A little, it's a thing to entertain your cats while you have a table. And then I looked at the price. You seen how much this is?
Yeah, that's why it's funding with 9 backers.
Yeah, it's $500 for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding? It's a table with 2 holes in it. Good night.
You could just buy a coffee table that actually has a hollowed interior. They make many of them.
Put some cardboard in there. Yeah, I mean, come on. This is ridiculous.
Look, it'd be one thing if this table actually had a built-in cat box. Now you've got something unique going on. But right now, look, this is just a cutout table.
I think it looks pretty cool. It just ain't $500 cool.
And I also don't think that there's anything about that is specific to cats.
Oh, wait, cat house made of paper?
Oh, yeah, you can get those at Target. You can get that at Target, Tom.
Oh, you can?
Something like it. You can get you can get little cat houses made of corrugated paper and cardboard. Yeah.
Can you make a table out of it, though?
And let me tell you what, that's going to last about 20 seconds.
That's what it seems like, right?
Going to wreck it.
Well, how much does it cost? What do you think?
That cat right there, that was sedated. That's a sedated cat. That's all I'm saying. That cat.
It's $88 to get one of these.
Oh my goodness!
And you can buy it on a weekly schedule. You can get a subscription.
Yeah, any self-respecting cat is going to wreck.
Does it close all the way? Can you lock the cat inside?
Thomas,
I'm just asking. All right.
Okay, let's talk picks of the week
what's
here.
Your pick of the week? Because I have no idea.
My pick of the week. Do you already know what it is?
Oh, I'm assuming it's actually you're probably the Garfield guy.
I'm going to go with the Paladins expansion and the big box. That's right. I love it. I love the game. I want more of it, and I definitely want that box to put it all in. Pick of the week.
All right. Cool. Not a big surprise. You are a Garfield fanboy.
I am.
I'm also pumped about this. So yes. What about you, Z?
I am going with, if I can find it. Where is it? Why can't I find it again?
It's the last one we did, Z. The cat table.
No, it's not. Come on now.
No.
The Constellation playing card.
The Forest of Radgost. That one.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
That's what I'm going with. I think it looks really good. It sounds interesting, and I hope they can pull off a clever and engaging story-driven game.
Well, actually, this is also my pick of the week.
Cool.
Because I'm real big on storytelling games right now, and I'm keep looking for one that's all about the story and doesn't get lost in the game mechanisms, and I'm hoping that's what this is. But I'm intrigued by the different theme for it. I don't know a lot about Slavic mythology, and this looks like it's pretty cool.
Yep, I like it.
All right, what do you think the People's Choice said?
I think they went with the Kingdom Rush.
I actually forgot to put the Kingdom Rush in the poll.
Oh, invalid
and
poll.
I'm going to go with Paladins.
Yeah. So People's Choice was Paladins. 44%. The second one that the people picked, though, was the Oink game set.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
People love Oink games, I'm telling you.
Third place was Forest of Radgost, then Doom Machine, then Clinic expansions. I actually thought the Clinic expansions would be higher.
Doom Machine, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to take a closer look at that.
Yeah, well, it's Z's game. He claimed it, remember?
You can have it, Mike. You can have it.
Alrighty, folks. Well, thanks so much for watching another episode of Crowdsurfing. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back live tomorrow with Board Game Breakfast at 10 o'clock, and then a top 10 list tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, lots of other reviews and things are going up. We appreciate, as always, all these Kickstarters and game-found projects for us to look at. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike Delicio.
Have fun with your little pill knife.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Today, have we done this before? No!